You're listening to Living in Spain podcasts with David Wright.
Hi, my name's David Wright, and this is another one of my podcasts. Today we've got a special guest, and we're speaking to Alex Welsh. Hi, Alex.
Hi, David. How are you doing?
Great. So you can hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Right, Alex. So whereabouts are you, Alex, at the moment? You're in the UK or are you in Spain?
I'm currently in Malaga in Spain. I've been here about 12 months now.
Perfect. And so what part of the UK are you from originally?
I'm originally from Stevenage in Hertfordshire, but I moved to Brighton when I was around 10 years old and pretty much grew up in Brighton until I moved here.
Another Brighton boy, just like myself. Know it well.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? So
Yeah.
what was it that made you move to Spain or think about moving to Spain? Was it the same as me, that fed up with the weather, or was it something different?
Yeah, well, pretty similar to your story, really. I always felt attracted to the idea of moving to the sun, a more relaxed way of life. And I happened to meet a Spanish girl in Brighton, and we moved in together, and then we ended up moving back here to Spain together. So it kind of was like a blessing, really.
Pretty good. So you haven't ended up marrying her like I did with my Spanish girlfriend?
Not yet, no.
All right, you got that to come then.
Keep it down. She's in the other room.
Well, I'll tell you something that's quite funny. You have to go for a really intense interview when you're marrying a Spanish citizen. Yeah, that's another story altogether, but you might have that to go through in the future.
All right. I'll look out for that.
So, Alex, what is it you do in Spain at the moment then? Are you working here in Spain, or you got plans to work here?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a funny story. So when I lived in the UK, I kind of tried to find ways to make money online. That was kind of my goal because I knew it would be able to give me sort of location freedom. So I was searching for ways to make money online. And when I moved to Spain, that kind of gave me the motivation to really try a lot harder. So I literally tried everything I could, and I've managed to set up an online business here now. So I completely work online, and it's going really well.
Great, that sounds great. Well, some people realise that I did that as well for sometimes several years. I was doing marketing online where I did affiliate marketing for different products and Amazon products, and I've got several things in the pipeline. But the thing with online business, I think a lot of people are shy of it because they think that it's all a scam and making money online. Even my wife thought that making money online was something, you just hear about. It's not the sort of thing people do. And just the other day, I actually took an Amazon check into the bank with her, and she said, "This doesn't look real. The check doesn't look real." And when the teller put it in, she said, "Oh, it works." I went, "Yeah, it works. It does work."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think a lot of people, they just don't believe it. And once you sort of get a taste of it and you realize that it is real, you kind of become addicted to it, really. And it's hard to go back to a normal job when you're making passive income, I find.
I agree. There's a thing that got me. I did a course years ago in America on promoting products, and one of the guys said to me, "When you start making money when you're asleep at night, that's when you really realise." And I didn't quite get it until one day I woke up and checked into my account and found that I made $125 while I was asleep in bed at night. I thought, blimey, who makes money when they're asleep? If you can do that, you're laughing.
Exactly. Yeah. But I had all the questions when I started to do it. I had, the questions like, is this a scam? Is this really going to work? And when they actually see the figures on the screen or the actual cash, they, becomes reality.
Yeah, true. And people say, "Oh, it's one of them pyramid things." And I used to say, "Yeah, but your 9 to 5 job's a pyramid thing. You start at the bottom, your bosses are at the top, everything is a pyramid scheme." But the other thing as well is working online, it's not it's not instant cash, and
Mhm.
you do have to put in a lot of effort. You do have to learn some new skills. And like, for example, with the ebooks I do on Amazon, you don't get paid for 2 months. So the 2 months in arrears, the payments, So even if you've got a book up and running, you're making sales, you don't get the first check through for your commissions until 2 months after your first sale. So it's not instant cash like some people think. But once you start earning, then you get a little bit from here, there, and everywhere. That's the real taste of it for me, anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people give up. They perhaps they think about making money online, and they think it's kind of a get rich quick scheme, and they'll try it for a couple of days or even a couple of weeks, and if they don't see any results, they just throw the towel in and quit right there. But the key to success is persistence and trying to look at it long term and building a real business. That's when you'll start seeing results. And once you can get one sale, you can get more and more. So
That's true. Yeah.
yeah,
So what is it you do personally then, Alex? Are you promoting products or are you doing training? Tell us a bit about that.
yeah. So like I said in the beginning, I tried everything. Like just like yourself, I done affiliate marketing, promoting other people's products. I tried selling goods on Amazon. I didn't really have much success with that. And then one day I was listening to a podcast, like I always do. Big fan of your one, by the way. And yeah, so one guy was talking about creating an online course, um, teaching what you already know. And I had a locksmith business back in the UK, and I thought that would be a really cool skill to teach people online. So I just set up a simple course teaching people how to pick locks and become a locksmith. And that's pretty much how I make my full-time income, just from selling an online course.
Perfect. So this is what you're going to be doing in Malaga then, is it? This is your full-time job, or is this a sideline for you?
This is pretty much full-time. This is it's amazing, because you can reach pretty much the entire world, um, with your products online. You only really need a couple of sales a day of your course, and that's, you know, when I first moved here to Spain, I did actually get a real job working for an insurance company, selling health insurance, and I think the wages there was about 900 euros a month. Um, and that's kind of a standard wage in Spain, especially if you can't speak the language.
Yeah.
And but now, I mean, my online business is probably doing 5 times that, which I was earning in that insurance office. So, and this is just 12 months into it, so you can see the potential once you can scale it up. It's
Sure.
amazing.
I always tell people, people say, well, I don't know what to promote. What is the good thing to promote? And I said, well, information sells,
Yeah,
and if you've got everybody's interested, whatever it is you're interested in, somebody in the world will be interested in the same thing. Like for you, it's locksmithing.
yeah,
Some of my books are regarding how to move to Spain and what paperwork you need, and so that's a specific market. But everybody's got a story. Everyone's got something they're interested in. And there's a lady I met years ago in America that did crocheting quilts.
okay,
And there was nobody online that did these courses in how to get started. And
yeah,
so she did a little online course on how to crochet and build and make quilts, and she absolutely made a fortune with her
yeah,
online courses, which is a really weird subject, but it's a really narrow niche to get into, So
exactly,
if
yeah.
people are living in Spain, the British people, and they think, well, I can't speak Spanish, I need a little bit of an income, maybe
Mm.
working online is a good way for them to go.
Definitely. And the thing is, you don't need to be an expert. So people often think, oh, I can't create a course because I'm not a certified expert, or I'm not a leader in my field. But all you need to do is know a bit more than the next person. So whatever skills and knowledge you've gained over the years, whether that be in your job, could be anything from accounting. Maybe you can play the piano, you can draw really well. and that can be a really valuable course for someone else, you know. And you'll be surprised that, like you say, the more niche you go, often the more profitable it is. So rather than, say, if you were an accountant, for example, rather than doing a course on just accountancy, if you niched it down and said, right, I teach accountancy to expats in Spain, for example, if if you go down a couple of niches, as they say in the States, that's where the money is. It's like they say, the riches are in the niches.
Yeah, true. I some years ago, I was trying to get on the front page of Google to rank one of my YouTube channels or
Yeah,
one of my YouTube videos, and I researched different things to do, different tweaks on your video and enhance it, and I spent weeks doing it, and then one day I did a little video and put all the links in the right place and did the right word searches and stuff, and my video was on the front page in the top three on Google search. And I was so chuffed. I made a video on what I did, and
yeah,
I set that video up and how people could rank on the front page of Google within a week. And
yeah.
that video went absolute viral. And
That's,
then so I did it as a free PDF document that people had to pay $3 for. And I
yeah.
kept it really cheap. And I sold about 150 of those, and
Wow.
then it faded out and then it died off. But
Yeah,
I was selling 150 of these $3 a time PDF files on something that I just learnt myself, because
exactly.
somebody else is interested in what you're interested in.
Yeah, that's it. And the way you've got to look at it is you're cutting their learning curve by months and years. So if you know how to do a skill, it could be something online. If you know how to create something online or create a website, and you do a simple course teaching that, someone would prefer to pay $50 or €50 to quickly learn that in an afternoon rather than going through that long learning curve. So it's a win-win for your customers and for yourself. And they, as you know, people think still a scam or whatever, but when you're providing value to the marketplace, there's no way it can be a scam.
Sure. And with the virus at the moment and the people with jobs and work being difficult, personally, I think working online is the future for everybody. And then more and more people are going to be working from home and working on the computer. And the thing I like about it for people living in Spain is you don't need to speak Spanish. And some of us are pretty lazy when it comes to learning Spanish. So working online is something really anybody of any age can do here in Spain, especially British expats here, like the members in our group. What do you think on that?
Definitely, yeah, and it's not just the language barrier. There's a lot of paperwork to do over here as well. When you want to apply for a job, you need to be able to read the application forms, fill in, and they require all sorts of ID and your NIE number and everything. And by setting up an online business, you're kind of cutting out all of that paperwork, and you're just bringing yourself in money. Obviously, it's important to get an accountant, so you can keep it all above board. And but yeah, it's the huge plus is the language and the paperwork side of things. And for me, it gives me a lot of freedom to just enjoy my time here in Spain. I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't have to deal with the paperwork, and it's given me plenty of free time to learn Spanish. So where
Sure.
online courses come into it again, I've actually purchased an online course, How to Learn Spanish. So I'm also a customer as well as a supplier, you see.
Yeah. So, what do you think as far as age group? What you're offering, Alex, this is for a certain age group of people, or is it because British expats in Spain, obviously, some of their members are retired and an older generation of members. Is this for all ages that what you're promoting?
Oh, absolutely. I think, the more life experience you've got, the more things you've got to teach. And some people have been in multiple professions and they're skilled in a lot of different areas. So that gives you a lot of scope and what you can teach, what you can pass on. But the key to it really is keeping it very simple. You've got to imagine that you're a beginner starting out in your field. What would you want to take you from complete beginner to not complete expert, but like in my lock picking course, it was just how to take someone who had never picked a lock before, how to pick a lock, and then potentially set up their own business so they could, buy a cheap website, set themselves up. So absolutely, I mean, this is for all ages. The more experience you've got in life, the more options you've got.
Sure. So we're going to come back to the work side of it in a minute, Alex. But
Okay.
you're in Malaga, so what do you do in your spare time in Malaga? Do you live near the beach? Are you a beach person, or you got a place in the hills? Tell us a bit about your life in Malaga.
Yeah, so I live in the centre of Malaga, right in the centre, and I spend my days pretty much. I mean, work-wise, there's not much work that I need to do because I've sort of put all the work up front, filming my course. So now I'll just send out occasional emails, but the rest of it's pretty much passive income. And I spend my time learning Spanish and exploring Spain and eating the good food here and enjoying the sun. So it's not a bad life at all, really.
A bit better than living in Brighton. I love Brighton, but I just hated the weather there.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Alex, just before we finish the podcast here, if people want to get in touch with you, I'm going to put a link in the podcast. But you offer a free book, is that right? A free download?
That's right. So to all your listeners, what I've done is I've created a step-by-step guide. So anyone who thinks that they've got a cool skill that they could teach someone online, I've got a step-by-step guide that tells you how to do this. Pretty much you can set this up for free. You can get a free trial with some software. You can set this as your first online business, or and once you've set that up, it's all pretty much passive income after that. But they'll be able to download that free ebook guide. I'll actually give you a link, David, so you can put that on your website. So that will be on British Expats. No, what was it? BritishExpatsInSpain.com.
Yeah, the Facebook group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what equipment would somebody need to get into this? Do they just need a laptop, or do they need any specific equipment?
Yeah, it depends on what they're filming. So if they're filming something online or something that can be taught like by audio, they can just use like a screen recording software, which you can get for free. Or if it is more of a physical skill, I like in my example with the locksmithing, I just used an iPhone and got my girlfriend just to literally film my hands picking a lock, and that's all you need, and a laptop. In the free ebook guide I'm going to give your listeners, there'll be a link to some software where they can set this all up risk free, and they can get started straight away with just a laptop and a phone.
Great. Yeah. I mean, I'm a big promoter of the iPhone. I've got an iPhone 7 myself, and you can even get free screen sharing and video. I can record my screen on my iPhone now. So, as you say, if you're doing something on your actual phone, you can on the PC, you can record what you're doing on your phone. So the apps that are available now are almost all free or very cheap. So, even as a basic mobile phone now, most mobile phones have got pretty good video cameras on them that you can use to do these sort of businesses online.
Definitely, yeah, it's more than enough. There's no need to get fancy with this. The trick to it is just getting something up there and getting started. Most people don't get started because they get procrastination and they think they need everything perfect. They need the right camera equipment, or they're not ready to film. But the way I done it was just literally get some content on there, put it out there and see what happens. Let the market decide what's good and pivot from there.
Sure. Good advice. Okay, well, it's been great talking to Alex, and I'll put some links in the end of this and also on the website. And also, it'll be on the Business Friday. So, if people want to check it out, and maybe this is quite a good idea for some of the expats in Spain. So, it's been great talking to Alex. And if you're ever down this way up in Almeria, we'll have to meet up and have some tapas, mate.
Sounds good. Been a
Well,
pleasure.
thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Take care.
If you have enjoyed this podcast by David Wright, then you will love his new books. Out now on Amazon and Kindle, packed with money-saving tips and information on living and working in Spain. Just go to livinginspainbooks.com. David also has a popular blog for expats in Spain. Come and take a look now at britishexpatsinspain.com.